Hello, guess what?
Hey,
It's time for another edition of the Black Belt Newscast.
all right.
We are live. It is Friday, November 14th,
Happy
2025.
Friday.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day outside here in the Black Belt. We have a lot to talk about today. I
Surprise,
always like
surprise.
so meaty right now. Just so
Yeah,
many things going on. All of our stories come from blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. It is packed. We're putting 9 stories a day on average, which maybe it's too much. I don't know. You tell me. But we love keeping you guys informed about what's going on in our communities. We have a lot today to talk about that have been meetings that have happened this week. There's a lot coming up that you need to know about. And we're going to probably hit just about all of our counties with news today. Now, you can get every single day, you can get our daily newsletter that comes out at 3 o'clock, and that will have all the headlines that we talk about now that we've done over the last for that day. Right now, it comes out at 3 p.m. I might experiment with the mornings, but for now, this is afternoon news. Yep, newsletter.
yeah.
It comes out every single day. It is free. All of our content is free. We don't have a paywall.
Right.
We want it to be available to everyone, regardless of income. And we are so enjoying what we do here. But we do
Yeah.
say we can't be everywhere. We are trying to cover a lot of counties. So if you didn't see us there, email what you've got going on to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. I know you're using this because I'm getting a lot more emails lately from
That's good.
folks. Here's what's going on, press releases or businesses that have opened in the area that you want to share the news. Do that, please. We also have this awesome calendar that is under lifestyle, and this has everything going on in the Black Belt and beyond. It actually has, if you want to make a trip for the weekend, it's got Meridian, it's got Tuscaloosa, Mobile, Montgomery. You can even put, 100-mile radius and see what happens.
That could be
And
our
we
new
all,
slogan. Our new slogan would be "To the Black Belts and beyond."
it is, I mean, right? It also has a service events, and that is these food giveaway days, which we are going to talk about that again this week. We have consistently talked each week about where to go to get food. Now, what as the SNAP benefits were cut off for a while, and we will talk about some of those changes now that the government shutdown has ended. And we will talk about that here later in the newscast. So we're going to get started with our top story of this week, which is Selma officials hosting a press conference strategy that they're starting to talk about on how to curb crime. And Todd got to make that press conference. Tell us what happened.
Well, as you said, it was our the new mayor of Selma, along with the police chief Kent Fulford and our district attorney Robert Turner Jr. There he is speaking, and Mayor Moss next to him there, and they were talking about various things that they're going to start doing, including increasing patrols, especially in the evening in areas that are the most crime-ridden. Chief Fulford said that they will be studying where the most shots fire calls come from, what crimes are in what areas, and they will start increasing patrols in those areas in particular. He also said that there's going to be more transparency. There's going to be more communications between each other and between the public. And all three of them agreed that those kids standing behind there are the reason we need to do this. And they can also be a big help in doing this. And that is curbing crime, violent crime, all kind of crime, especially violent crime that involves guns. They're going to start working hard to get illegal guns off the street as well. There's a lot of folks that, granted we have the Second Amendment, there are some people who, because of past experiences, aren't allowed to have guns, and some of those people are still carrying them. So they're going to try to find those folks. And this is one of those things we're going to have to follow over a period of time. This is the first press conference, but this is something we're going to be watching closely because crime is an issue, and this is important to the development of our area. So a very good and very informative press conference, and we're looking forward to good things in the future from this administration.
Yeah, I know. Just talking about bringing back Neighborhood Watch.
Right.
They've been asking for a while for the community to get more involved and to basically turn in people that are problems, and they do have issues with the neighborhood folks not wanting to work, fearing
retaliation, because they're worried about retaliation, and they addressed that and said that that's one of the things they're going to be high on their priority is to avoid and prevent that. And they also said that there are a number of different ways you can report crimes anonymously, one of them being Crime Stoppers. And you don't have to give a name or anything, but that information goes straight to the police, then they can follow up on it. But they cannot follow up on it if you do not call. So they're asking the community, as you said, Cindy, that they get involved. And if you see something, say something.
Yeah, and there have been 14 murders so far this year.
Right.
In the beginning, it was a lot of teenagers. A lot of the gun violence has involved the youth. And that's why they were talking so much about how important it is for the youth to let people know and feel comfortable saying what they're hearing is going on in their
Yes.
friend group or outside of the friend group. So that's really
Exactly.
murders. It's not a record for Selma, but it's definitely, and we had 2 in one weekend, not last weekend, I believe it was the one before. So it's been a lot of people saying, I know that they also have talked about the success of Sky Cop and the
Yes, they did.
cameras at strategic locations. So sounds like they're going to be doing some research on like you said, the shots fired most.
Right. Where's the most crime-ridden areas, and let's start in those places. Which that's a lot of them say that's common sense, but that's a process that the city has to go through. And as you said, the young people, they want them to get more involved in talking about what's going on in the schools, even, and if they hear something or see something, to, as they say with the community and the adults, to please let the police know so they can stop it before it even becomes a problem. Yes. And making them more aware. Another thing, they want to make the kids more aware of the consequences of using firearms in an irresponsible way, and trying to make them understand the difference of responsible gun ownership and the problems that'll get them put in jail.
Yeah, try to stop it early.
Right.
All right. Yeah, this is a new administration. This mayor was sworn in on November 3rd. So
I think this is his first press conference too, isn't it?
Yeah. This is new, kind of new sheriff in town. Yeah. Which reminds me, we're going to talk about the sheriff a little bit later in town. All right, so let's switch over to a really important topic, healthcare. And healthcare in the Black Belt is very challenging, just like it is anywhere in rural Alabama, but rural areas. And there is a new tax credit and I'm going to show you. I went to a meeting on Wednesday, and this is the Alabama Hospital Association representative, but the one talking right there is the CEO of Vaughn Regional Medical Center, Michael James. And this is the first meeting they've had to talk to business industry leaders who might be interested and want to make a donation. So Vaughn Hospital, which many others are, for-profit entities. So you can't make a donation and get anything out of it, tax deduction. Mm-hmm. But this tax credit was set up in the state legislature in the spring so that hospitals can get donations and can ask to give a tax credit. So it's a dollar for dollar tax incentive. It starts January, basically 1st, early January. But there's a $20 million cap, so that if when that is reached among the 50 hospitals, there's 50 rural hospitals that were approved to be part of this program. This is a Georgia program. It's done elsewhere, and it's been successful over there. So let's say that it's a $20 million cap. Well, obviously 50 can't go put in and get, 20 up, the $20 million.
Right.
It will be long, and it's all kind of a first come, first serve. Each hospital would get a maximum of $750,000. But if you add up 750 times 50, that's more than 20 million. So they're kind of pitching an urgency to give now, and give that first month to get the tax credit. You get that tax credit at the end of the year, and it would bolster revenue for rural hospitals. As we have said so many times, these rural hospitals like Thomasville has closed because of the struggle. There are Pickens County is still closed, but these would allow for the an extra revenue source. So they're saying $750,000 is not going to necessarily keep it floating, but it would definitely cover the cost for a new CT scan, which is that Vaughn Regional Medical Center has right now. Everything that they list of keeping up that aging facility, paying people well and competitively to keep them there. That is one of those big challenges. So Vaughn is not the only one in the Black Belt, obviously, that is eligible for this. Whitfield Regional Medical Center in Demopolis is also on this list. And Vaughn tells me that they have talked with the officials over at Whitfield about, who are you going to be asking to donate so that we don't ask the same people.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to double dip. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that everyone's successful, because it's kind of a win-win. Vaughn still has an OB unit. Whitfield had to close theirs last year. So we're all in this together. From what I'm told, Whitfield has their own industries that they're looking to ask for, and making this donation, taking advantage of this tax credit. So we're going to watch this really closely. It's really interesting deal that has been made to help rural hospitals, and just see how it goes for their bottom line next year.
Rural health is a very big, important subject right now. So.
All right. So you went to another great meeting this week, same day as the press conference.
As a matter of fact, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to thank Jeria Martin for inviting us every year. There's Jeria. She is the head of Drug-Free Communities of Dallas County, and the director. Of course, the mayor spoke. Kennard Randolph spoke. That is Kennedy. Oh gosh, I get her last name off the top of my head. It's in the story that we have posted. One of the Hope dealers talked about the things that happened with drug-free communities, the different events they've been involved in, and the big announcement at the end of the evening. And of course, this is an annual luncheon that they do at Thanksgiving every year. But the big announcement was 3 sizable grants. They've gotten a $40,000 grant from the county commission, Dallas County Commission. They're going to be doing a campaign that's going to say, Hope starts here, drug-free together. They got a $75,000 grant from the state that's going to go to specializing in elementary schools. Mostly they've been in high schools and middle schools. Now they're going to have the funding to go into elementary schools and help keep them off of drugs. But the big one was a federal agency has given them, it's the Mental Health Administration of the United States, awarded them a $1.25 million grant that will sustain them for the next 5 years. So they will be around at least for another 5 years. And she said in the meeting after she announced that Jeria said this, that she was getting worried because the grant that was sustaining them was due to run out, and she didn't know if she was going to get it again. And then, as she said, God is good. These 3 grants came in all of a sudden, and now she's not only going to add programs and add service, but she's sustaining herself, or it will be sustained for another 5 years. So it's a great thing. That's one of those programs. It's one of those things that's doing wonderful things. She's also announced that January 1st, she's going to Guam to start the first drug-free communities outside of the country in another area. So she's looking to expand into other places, so that, which would be a great thing, because these Hope dealers, as you saw, after this luncheon is when that press conference happened, and those Hope dealers Those are the kids that we've got to do all this for. They're the ones, and they can spread this kind of information to the other kids and adults, and hopefully that is going to help to get everybody in the right mindset so that we can curb the drugs. And a lot of the firearm crimes that we have are over drugs. So if you can curb some of the drugs, you will automatically curb some of the gun violence that we keep talking about. It's all related, and we're going to keep following all of it.
Right. Well, sticking to some of the crime discussion, there is a new police chief in Marion.
Yes.
So Marion lost their police chief and the 3 other officers that left for other pastures.
Greener pastures.
But this is the new interim police chief, Nikisha Gales. And what's so great about her, she is coming from Pine Hill Police Department in Wilcox County, where she was for 21 years, and they did not renew her contract, which was a surprise to her when the new administration was put in on November 3rd. They didn't renew her contract. So she ends up next door. She's got 31 years of law enforcement experience, which is a real benefit. And she also is the first female to lead the Marion Police Department. So for them, they get to some history. Now they do have this position open and the other positions in. So the police chief job is still open. They are taking applications just like they're supposed to, and we'll be announcing a permanent chief. But this is who the interim chief is, and it's someone familiar to us here in the Black Belt.
Yeah. Speaking of police, and I meant to mention this earlier, by the way, Cindy, but while I was talking to the police chief and district attorney at the press conference and whatnot yesterday, they told me that the fugitive that's a murder suspect from Selma was caught in Boston. His name is Marion Lee. Chief Fulford said that the paperwork has been done. They've hired a company to go and get him and extradite him to Selma, and that he should be here in a couple of days to face the charges of murder. And then we'll have more on that, as he said he's going to call and let us know, and we'll be following that for you as well.
Yes, and that's related to a murder of Moultrie, Mr. Moultrie, last. No, it was actually October 25th, something like that.
25th, 27th, something like that. Yeah, exactly.
So interesting. All right, guys, let's talk about SNAP for a second. We have been discussing the federal shutdown, the government shutdown that had caused a lot of folks in our area, especially that get assistance with food, to not get any payments so that they could actually buy food. So we have given you guys lots of suggestions of food pantries, like in Demopolis. I was there last week and watched the process, gave you guys information on that for giveaways. But also we have been to the food bank a couple of times. So Terry Sewell on Monday was at the food bank talking about options for getting food that is in need. Now, yes, it was approved this week that we ended the government shutdown, but they are saying that they will be giving SNAP benefits sometime this month and not waiting until December. But it's unclear when that will start. So keep your eye out for when that will come open, because now that the government's open, they should be funding it. This is Terry Sewell talking about what options there are for, and she really was giving a platform for those that are offering food assistance. And to her left is Ryan Johnson, who's the director of the Selma Area Food Bank. And to her right is Chris Spencer, who is the head and now new CEO of Black Belt Community Foundation, which had founded, and they started a food for families in the Black Belt donation campaign that you can donate to. And all of this is connected because Selma Area Food Bank gets most of the food through like day, and they're the ones that give it out to a lot of the area pantries. Pine Hill has one. Yellow Bluff has one. There's the one in Demopolis. A lot of options, but they've got to have the availability of the food and the funding to even give it to them. So this was really a great, if you want to hear what she said in that interview, it is on our website under multimedia. It's also on our YouTube channel. All right, Veterans Day. I got a chance to be at Veterans Day this year, and
I missed it.
It was cold. Monday, Tuesday was when we had that cold snap.
Yeah.
And so they hold it at Memorial Stadium every year, and they did it anyway, cold or not cold. And this was the Selma High's choir was there. They honored all the different. So this is American Legions that they do every year.
Right.
That's Boys and Girls State folks that came from Morgan Academy that were there, and then in the crowd is veterans from all the different service lines, from the Air Force, Navy, Marines, and then of course there's placing of the wreaths. And afterward, Rotary, me and my Rotary friend.
Greatest acrobatic pilot.
I didn't know I had
a stunt pilot.
We gave out hot dogs to the crowd. And so it was a really beautiful day, just chilly.
Yeah. Chilly, but gorgeous.
Honor veterans. I'm really glad we could do that.
Yeah, our American Legion does the Veterans Day, and the VFW does Memorial Day. Those are two wonderful celebrations. With all this family's been doing, I didn't want to get around all the folks, but I hated missing that. It's a wonderful celebration.
All right. So Uniontown has a lot coming up. You have several meetings in Uniontown coming up, guys. One of them is on November 18th. This one is about the Arrowhead landfill.
Yeah, the landfill.
So we want to bring more waste to Perry County. So the Alabama Environmental Management is hosting a public hearing at City Hall. And it's on November 18th. This is to give citizens a chance to comment on these plans to increase capacity of this landfill. And we have a very detailed story. Our reporter, Brad Fisher, dug into 1,500 pages of this plan for Arrowhead to be growing. And we have there have been some citizen meetings where they've met, like on the 9th, they met to help come up with what they want to say so that they can present well on November 18th at this meeting. The owners of the landfill are based in New Jersey, so they will be hosting this. So that, or I guess ADEM is hosting it, but just for the discussion of increasing what comes to this dump. Read more at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com under Perry County. It's so important, when things like this are in your backyard, you want to have a chance to say, I'm good with this or I'm not good with this. There is also a meeting on November 18th, 25th. And this was about, I know, I got both of these mixed up earlier.
I know. Well, good catch, though. Good save.
November 25th, if you have a strong feeling about the gas pipeline that's coming through Perry County, it's also coming through Dallas County, it's coming through all the counties.
Yeah, we went to that meeting, remember?
Meetings talking about this gas pipeline that's coming through. There are some strong feelings about this. It is aligned with a current pipeline, so it's not
just increasing the capacity,
right? Yeah. So if you have a feeling about that one you want to share, that one is at the rec center in Uniontown. There is also a Smithsonian exhibit, so this is a little Happier news that
Yeah,
Troy,
good stuff.
has brought a Smithsonian exhibit, and I really want to go see the Smithsonian exhibit. It has some veteran.
I want to see that too.
Yeah, it's really neat, and I think that it's really great that they got this here. It's called Spark Places of Innovation, and it's people, places, and ideas that spark new inventions and creativity in rural communities across the nation. It is an Alabama Humanities Alliance project that is going to 6 Alabama towns. This is the only one that's going to that's coming to the Black Belt, and it's going to be in Uniontown at the Renaissance downtown building downtown. It runs through December 13th, so it is not too late to see it. It opened last week, I think, on Veterans Day.
Oh yeah,
so exciting, and I'm
yeah,
really
I love
happy
that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that in. It's so great.
That'd be really fun, good family day out to go look at that kind of stuff. You know.
Now it's time for
the Black Belt Roundup.
I just love being able to use that. We have a lot going on. Let's talk about what happened last weekend first, and that is the Orville
Tractor Show. Yeah, officially the West Dallas Antique Tractor and Car and Engine Show. We know it is the Orville Tractor Show. Look at the prettiest car in the whole show right there. But no, there were some gorgeous, beautiful cars. That old 56 T-Bird right there is beautiful. Actually, 55. It was a lot of fun, a lot of cool people. There were folks there from Demopolis, Linden. I know my friend Danny Schroeder from Linden was there. Dusty Smith from Demopolis. People from, Birmingham and all over. There were cars, there were tractors, there was food and vendors. And, of course, it always culminates with the noon tractor parade that has become a tradition. Some really interesting vehicles. And, I think it's cool, too, is you notice a lot of kids in these in the video drive. There's John Holbrook. Young people, a lot of kids, that's how they learn how to drive in the country. And, of course, there were some really interesting and unusual tractors and farm implements there, too, like this right here. One of the cool things I noticed, too, is that not all the tractors were huge. There's an old Ford tractor, kind of like ours. But some of the tractors were little bitty, but still in the parade and having a good time. It really was fun. The proceeds from that show go to support and help the Orville and the Safford fire departments. And they've been doing this. And there was a couple of years they didn't get to do it. They've been doing it every year for quite a while. And it's always a fun time to go down there and watch the tractor show. I was supposed to get the list of all the winners. I hadn't got it yet, but we'll have that posted when it comes.
I love that. I've been several times, and they have food trucks, and it's really fun. Oh,
gosh, yeah. If you go hungry at the Orville Tractor Show, that's because you just weren't trying.
Right.
Because
that's right.
And I'm going to tell you, it's another great time to go and start getting some Christmas presents. A lot of people buy, because there's so many different vendors there with so many different arts and crafts. It's just a big fun time. And you know what I love about it best, Cindy, is it's a small town atmosphere. I mean, it's a small town. It's where the living's easy. And it's just a good rural event. I mean, it's what Americana is all about. It's one of my favorite things every year.
Time. I love
it. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. We have one more meeting to remind folks of. There is one more Medicare open enrollment. That this is the area agency on aging, and they have one more meeting coming up in this open enrollment that ends on December 7th, and that is on November 17th from 9 to 1 at the public library, Dallas County Public Library. Call Sherry Bush if you have any other questions, because they might have some others that we've already run. All the Marengo County ones have finished. So check out and see if maybe they've added any, but this is the last one. It's coming up next week. Make sure to get out there, get help with that open enrollment. It's such a pain. I know I'm nervous about open enrollment. All right. And that is all I have for the Black Belt Roundup. We have
I think
so
that's
much.
all I got too. I don't think I have anything else right now. I'm sure we'll figure something out for next week though. But for right now, I think that's it.
Daily newsletter. It comes out at 3:00. It costs you nothing. When you go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, it will ask you in the first couple of seconds. And all you got to do is put your email in. You're not going to have to pay anything, and you get headlines every single day that you can just click on what you want to know more about. All right. And then send us your news at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. Let's do this together. We're a community product. This is a public service because we are, and I do forget to do this one sometimes. We are nonprofit. We can take donations, and I always try to, here we go.
There it is.
The QR for it. Support local journalism and rural journalism. We've told you a bunch of stories today that are all rural. There's nobody else out here doing this with us, especially not as much of the Black Belt as we're doing. We're trying to do it all in one place. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
And you can help us do that by making a donation.
Please.
Even if, $10 a month, that makes a difference.
Yes.
I think I hit it all. What do you think?
I think, wow, again, like, whew, that's a lot of stuff.
Okay, guys. We will see you again next Friday live
Yes,
as
please.
week, and we will see you then.
Have a great week. A great weekend.